This is a special edition of K2 News on your side.
And thank you for joining us for this digital edition of K2 News. I'm Catherine Kissel. It is a day people have been looking forward to for about 2 years now. The mask mandate has been lifted for both Oregon and Washington. However, don't throw away your masks just yet. There are some places that will still require it, like public transportation. Right now, the CDC is working on revised guidance for planes and trains. Private businesses like bars and stores can also make their own mask rules. The Park Rose School District is keeping their mask policy in place until March 29th. Health officials also caution the pandemic isn't over and there may be a need to mask up again if there's another serious COVID-19 variant. And as many stores anticipate more customers now that the mandate has been lifted, Margulis Jewelers is the latest business in downtown Portland, making the call to leave the area. K2's Megan Allison joins us live from there tonight. And Megan, so what factors did the owner consider to make this decision?
Well, Catherine, he tells me there's just not enough foot traffic to keep doors open. The owner said days like today with a sunny afternoon that brings people outside are an anomaly. And he says that ultimately he had to make the decision 5 years earlier than originally planned to close doors altogether.
The original Margulis Jewelers opened just down the block from this location 90 years ago at the height of the Depression in 1932. The owner of the long-standing family business planned to close when he turned 75, but he compared the last 2 years to barely treading water and is now welcoming customers for a going out of business sale until officially shutting doors in June.
Without the critical mass of people, you can't conduct business and plan. And so as a small business person, I can't see if I could last 4 or 5 years till downtown Portland comes back.
Margulis says although Saturdays are often busy, it's tough the rest of the week. The owner tells us without people working downtown, business just isn't sustainable. He finds many buildings are still only about 20% occupied. The owner also cites the challenge of perception that Portland isn't safe. Margulis says he finds downtown is safe during the day, but once people decide to avoid this neighborhood, it's tough to bring them back.
I also spoke with another downtown business owner considering a move. I'll show you why she plans to leave the area when her lease ends tonight after the game. We're live in downtown Portland. Megan Allison, K2 News.
Megan, thank you. This is new information tonight. A firefighter was hurt while battling this fire in St. Helens today. Columbia River Fire and Rescue says that the firefighter is in stable condition. Crews remained on the scene for several hours while battling that fire. There was significant damage to that commercial building. We're told the cause is still under investigation. Sandy police have arrested a former teacher wanted on 13 counts of sexual abuse. Police say that 45-year-old Taylor Llewellyn had an outstanding warrant from Clackamas County that stemmed from a 2020 investigation. Mr. Llewellyn worked as a teacher at the Oregon Trail School District in 2020 and had also taught in Lake Oswego and the Lowell school districts. Police are still looking for potential victims. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sandy Police Department.
The loss of a child is not supposed to happen. It's not.
This is the next emergency.
Local health officials are sounding the alarm after two Portland high school students died this week from accidental fentanyl overdoses. K2's Genevieve Rayom spoke to two families who lost their children to drug overdoses. Now they're working to prevent these tragedies from happening to other families.
I mean, it doesn't go away, Genevieve. I mean, it was 10 years ago. It doesn't ever go away.
The pain of losing a child still raw a decade later. Gail Strobin Simmons' son Christopher died in 2012 from a heroin overdose.
As a mom, I know how horrific it feels to lose your only child or any child.
John and Jennifer Epstein, too, know the feeling.
And was really just a typical kid, super kind.
Their son Cal, a Sunset High School graduate, died about a year ago during college break. He took what he thought was Oxycontin, but it was fentanyl.
Cal had no idea. In fact, we found out later that the night before he took the pill, he had searched on Google for Oxycontin.
He was looking up how Oxycontin would interact with his anxiety medication, how much he should take for his weight, and completely unaware about what he was actually about to swallow. Because of fentanyl's low cost and potency, dealers are illegally mixing it into other drugs and selling it as if they are legitimate prescriptions. A study from Snap Inc. found that only 37% of young Americans consider fentanyl to be extremely dangerous. The DEA says it's about 100 times more potent than morphine, and it's flooding the market. The Epsteins are now trying to reach kids where they're at. Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, it's all through Song for Charlie. The drug messaging, not boring.
A synthetic opioid 80 to 100 times more powerful than morphine,
but modern and meaningful.
Since we started the social media campaigns in August, we have reached over 50 million people.
Gail, too, is working on another effort to reach students. Need for Narcan is her nonprofit. The goal there, get the life-saving drug into schools. All of these efforts to prevent another family from this unfathomable pain.
You shouldn't die from mistakes. You should learn from them.
The Epsteins think Cal's anxiety may have driven him to seek out OxyContin. They want kids to know if they are dealing with something that your pain is real, tell a trusted adult. It is nearly impossible to tell the difference between real and counterfeit pills. We want to show you these pictures here. On the left, you can see authentic oxycodone M30 tablets. On the right, well, those are the fake pills labeled identically but containing fentanyl. So what exactly is fentanyl? Well, it's a powerful synthetic opioid that is like morphine, but as we heard, 50 to 100 times more potent. A lethal dose is about 2 milligrams, which is about the size of a few grains of salt. Gas prices are still rising. AAA says the current average in Oregon is about $4.74 a gallon. That's 40 cents more than just a week ago and 80 cents more than a month ago. The average price in Washington is at $4.73 a gallon. Law enforcement across the country warn drivers to be on the lookout for gas thieves. In Portland, police say just in the last week they've already seen a few cases, and they worry about a trend. They say that thieves can siphon the gas or even drill a hole in the gas tank and drain the fuel. Police say not only is it a crime, it is a public safety issue.
If somebody is using a drill to drill into someone's gas tank, you're risking sparks that could generate a fire or even an explosion.
Police say the best way to prevent gas theft is to park in a garage. If you can't do that, park in well-lit areas and places with a lot of people. They say that if you are a victim, you should file a police report online. Turning now to weather, we want to check in with K2's Joe English. We certainly had a mixed bag today with some beautiful spring-like weather, and then here comes the rain, Joe.
And we were expecting it mid-afternoon. We saw that come in, windy as well, and now we're seeing rain up in the mountains starting to turn to snow, or at least it will overnight. So a busy finish to the weekend, making your weather headlines. The wet and windy conditions that'll be with us tonight and tomorrow. Heavy mountain snow, and then we have more rain coming up for the work week. Winter weather advisory in the purple right there, and northeast Oregon and along the Cascades. That runs through about 5 o'clock tomorrow. So there will be snow on the mountain passes. And the gold along the coast, that's a wind warning. That runs through about 5 o'clock in the morning. So gusts of 60 miles an hour on the coast possible tonight. We're going to see gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour along the I-5 corridor. We've already been seeing that. That will continue overnight. There's a look at your rain right now. Heavier over the mountains along the east side of I-5, and then some showers on the coast. So it'll ease up through the evening, but there's more to come as we get into tomorrow. High temperatures today, warmed up to 60 in Portland, 68 in the Dalles. That's because we're on the warm side of that cold front you see right in the middle of your screen. That's moving through right now. That will drop the snow levels and drop temperatures. Expect that rain to be back Sunday morning, turning to showers in the afternoon. A warmer start tomorrow morning than this morning, but cooler in the afternoon, only in the low 50s. 49, wet and windy on the coast right now. The Inn at Spanish Hill Resort Hotel in Lincoln City. From the Stoller Family Estates in Dayton, 50 degrees and raining there. It's been raining out in the gorge, 48 degrees from our Visit HoodRiver.com camera. And from the Touchmark camera, looking at Washington County, a little bit drier. So there is some drier weather on the way through the evening. Winds are not too strong in downtown Portland, only about 5-10 miles an hour. But here's what's going on overnight. You see that rain move through, some snow and rain showers for central and eastern Oregon. Sunday morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock, the wind really starts to pick up again, and a lot of moisture coming in. So wet the first part of the day. Then we see some showers to finish the day, and then more rain coming in on Monday. I think Monday will be an even wetter day than either day of your weekend. And we're talking about maybe close to a foot of snow just above government camp and 2 to 2.5 feet on the higher elevations of the Cascades in southern Washington and northern Oregon. On the coast tomorrow, high wind warning overnight tonight. Again, gusts to 60 miles per hour possible. Rain early tomorrow and then late again. And we're looking at rain early in the morning for the Valley metro area, Southwest Washington, turning to afternoon showers. And high temperatures only around 50 degrees, well, between 50 and 55. For the Gorge, you'll be back in the 50s as well, and much cooler over Government Camp. Freezing tonight, warming up to 37 tomorrow. Snow level about 2,500 feet, so you could see some snow falling in Sandy, Estacada, spots like that. Not in the Gorge, though. You're not part of that winter weather advisory. Chance of morning rain and snow east of the Cascades, and then probably going to get some rain into the afternoon and evening. So it's wet and windy for Sunday. More rain on Monday. Still raining on Tuesday. Driest day out of the week will be Wednesday. Probably seeing some showers on Thursday, and then again late Friday into Saturday. So pretty wet week, pretty mild temperatures, especially overnight. You see, we don't even dip below 40 degrees. So we're not worried about snowfall. But we will get some heavy rain, probably what, 2 or 3 inches by the time we're done with this.
I know. You've been talking about how much we need it, Joe. Thank
Yep.
you. Time now for a look at what we're working on for our newscast coming up tonight after the game, right now on K2. As masks come off, people are heading out to large events this weekend. We'll take a look at what to expect and how things compare to the last time the mask mandate was lifted in Oregon. That's coming up tonight after the game on K2. In the meantime, you can get all the information by logging on to KATU.com.
The following segment is sponsored by Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon, Albertina Kerr, and Collective Care Clinic.
Mental health providers are sounding the alarm about kids and teenagers during the pandemic. Reports show that a heartbreaking spike in suicide attempts nationwide. Local mental health professionals are seeing an increase here as well. K2 News is holding a town hall to hear from local young people and parents about mental health, and we'll hear from experts about resources that will help. Watch our live Recover Northwest Town Hall, Youth Mental Health During COVID, on Tuesday, March 15th at 6 o'clock right here on K2. And thanks for joining us, and be sure to tune in right after the game for a special edition of K2 News. Have a good night.